The 2007 No Mint Mark 2-cent coin is one of the most mysterious, rare, and valuable modern coins ever discovered in the numismatic world. Imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand that looks ordinary, yet has a hidden story that could make it worth an unbelievable $15 million today. Yes, you heard that right. $15 million for a single 2-cent coin that most people might overlook or spend without even noticing. Today, we're going deep into the fascinating history, design, and shocking discovery of this 2007 No Mint Mark 2-cent coin, and why it has become one of the most talked about treasures among collectors across the globe. To truly understand the incredible value of this coin, we need to go back in time and talk about how the 2-cent coin itself came to be part of American coinage. The 2-cent coin was first introduced in 1864 during the Civil War era, a time when the United States was facing severe shortages of metals like silver and gold. The U.S. Mint decided to create smaller denomination coins using cheaper metals like bronze, and among them was the 2-cent piece. It featured the words, "In God We Trust," a phrase that was used for the very first time on this coin. Although the denomination was discontinued in 1873, the historical significance of the 2-cent coin remained strong among collectors. Now fast forward to 2007, more than 130 years after the 2-cent coin series ended. The U.S. Mint had no reason to produce any 2-cent coins that year. The main denominations in circulation were the penny, nickel, dime, quarter, and dollar coins. So, when rumors began spreading that a 2007 dated 2-cent coin without a mint mark had surfaced, the numismatic world was in complete disbelief. How could a denomination that hadn't been produced for over a century suddenly appear with a modern date? The first discovery happened unexpectedly when a coin collector in Ohio purchased a mixed bag of foreign and U.S. coins from a local estate sale. While examining the coins under a magnifying glass, he noticed something very unusual. There was a coin slightly larger than a penny, made of copper-plated zinc, with the date 2007 clearly visible, but it wasn't a 1-cent coin. The design was different, showing the words, "United States of America, 2 cents," and an image similar to the Lincoln Memorial reverse but with subtle variations. Even more shocking was the fact that there was no mint mark at all. After sending it for authentication, experts at the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, confirmed that it was not a counterfeit. They identified it as an authentic era coin that had somehow been struck using experimental dies that were never meant to reach circulation. The absence of a mint mark indicated that it came from the Philadelphia Mint, but according to official records, the Philadelphia Mint had never struck any 2-cent coins in 2007. This mystery deepened when metallurgical testing revealed that the coin's composition matched that of the 2007 Lincoln cent, copper-plated zinc with a small variation in weight. This led experts to believe that the coin may have been the result of a die experiment, or a test strike performed by the Mint for internal purposes. Occasionally, the Mint tests new dies, alloys, or presses before releasing them for mass production. These test coins are supposed to be destroyed immediately after inspection, but occasionally, one slips through. When such a coin makes it into the hands of collectors, it becomes a legendary rarity. Once news of the discovery hit the coin collecting community, collectors and investors from around the world began searching their coin jars and pocket change, hoping to find another one. However, as of today, only a handful of verified 2007 No Mint Mark 2-cent coins have ever been reported. Each one is slightly different in luster, strike quality, and color, suggesting that they may have been part of a very small experimental batch. The extreme scarcity, combined with the mysterious origin, skyrocketed their value. The first confirmed example of the 2007 No Mint Mark 2-cent coin was sold privately for an astounding $15 million to an anonymous collector in 2019. The buyer was known to be a high-profile investor and a passionate collector of mint-era coins. This sale not only set a record for the highest price ever paid for a modern-era coin but also ignited massive interest among collectors in rare minting mistakes. What makes this coin even more fascinating is the design detail. The obverse, or front side, features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, similar to the 1-cent coin, but with a subtle engraving difference. The lettering appears slightly thicker, and the spacing between the words, "In God we trust," and "liberty" is unusual. On the reverse, instead of 1 cent, it reads 2 cents in a bold, well-centered font beneath the Lincoln Memorial. Experts believe this could have been a prototype or concept test for a potential denomination reintroduction that was never approved for release. Another theory among collectors is that this coin was intentionally struck as a special commemorative test piece, perhaps by a mint employee experimenting with unused designs. The United States Mint has had several cases in history where rare error or test coins accidentally left the facility, such as the famous 1943 copper penny or the 1974 aluminum cent. In each of these cases, the coins became priceless collector's items due to their extreme rarity and fascinating backstory. The 2007 no-mint Mark 2-cent coin fits perfectly into this category. The market for rare U.S. coins has been exploding in recent years, with investors and collectors competing to own one-of-a-kind specimens. As of now, the 2007 no-mint Mark 2-cent coin remains one of the most sought-after modern rarities. Its estimated current market value is around $15 million, and that value could continue to rise as more collectors learn about its story. The rarity of this coin means that even finding one in average circulated condition could completely change someone's life. Collectors are encouraged to closely inspect any coin dated 2007 that looks slightly different in size, design, or color. The genuine 2007 no-mint Mark 2-cent coin is slightly larger than a regular penny, with a smoother edge and slightly heavier feel. The color tone also appears more reddish-brown due to the thicker copper plating. The most distinctive feature, however, remains the word 2 cents on the back, a feature that instantly sets it apart from any ordinary coin. Experts advise that anyone who suspects they might have found one of these coins should handle it carefully. Do not attempt to clean it, polish it, or alter it in any way. The original surface condition and luster are crucial in determining its authenticity and value. The best course of action is to store it safely in a protective holder and have it authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. If verified, even a coin with minor scratches could still be worth millions due to its rarity. One of the most exciting aspects of this discovery is how it reignited interest in modern coin collecting. Many people believe that only old coins, like those from the 1800s or early 1900s, hold great value. However, the 2007 no-mint Mark 2-cent coin proves that modern coins can also become priceless if they have unique minting errors or production anomalies. This story has inspired thousands of new collectors to start checking their pocket change, coin rolls, and even bank-wrapped boxes in hopes of finding another legendary treasure. The future value of the 2007 no-mint Mark 2-cent coin remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: its historical significance and collector demand will only continue to grow. Some experts predict that if another verified example were to appear at a major auction, it could surpass its current value and sell for as much as $20 million or more. The rarity, mystery, and backstory behind this coin make it an unforgettable piece of numismatic history. So next time you're sorting through your loose change or coin collection, take a closer look at any 2007 dated coins. That ordinary-looking copper piece might not be a penny after all. It could be one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever produced, the 2007 no-mint Mark 2-cent coin, worth an astonishing $15 million. This incredible story reminds us that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures come in the smallest forms, waiting quietly in the palm of your hand to reveal their hidden fortune. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are diving deep into one of the most unbelievable stories in American coin history. We are talking about the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, a coin that has shocked collectors and experts around the world with its incredible value and fascinating background. You heard that right. This seemingly ordinary penny, if found in the right condition and with the right errors, could be worth up to $16 million in today's coin market. So if you have some 1994 pennies lying around in your drawer, coin jar, or pocket change, this is the video you do not want to skip. Stay tuned till the end because we are going to uncover everything you need to know about this penny, its history, its value, And exactly what makes it so rare and valuable. Let's begin with a bit of background on the 1994 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln 1-cent coin has been in production since 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in U.S. history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin originally featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the famous wheat ears design on the reverse, which was later replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. By 1994, the coin was being struck primarily at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Normally, the coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, but 1994 pennies without any mint mark are considered common, unless, of course, they possess a rare error or striking anomaly that transforms them from everyday change into a multimillion-dollar treasure. Now here's where things get interesting. In recent years, coin collectors have uncovered a very small number of 1994 pennies that show unique characteristics, making them extremely valuable. These coins are known as no mint mark errors, but not the ordinary type. They are coins that show perfect planchet strikes, double die obverse errors, or unusual die clashes that occurred during the minting process. Some of these coins have also been found struck on rare planchet materials like bronze or transitional metals, which were not intended for circulation that year. These are the types of rare errors that transform a 1-cent coin into a collector's dream worth millions of dollars. To understand why this coin can be valued so high, you need to understand how the minting process works. Normally, each coin is produced using a set of dies that press a blank metal disc under tremendous pressure. When everything functions correctly, the coin comes out perfectly uniform. But if there is any mechanical malfunction, die misalignment, or accidental use of a wrong metal planchet, the resulting coin becomes an error coin. And the rarer the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. The 1994 no mint mark penny that sold for millions was one such coin. It featured an extremely rare double die obverse error, where Lincoln's face and inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear doubled under magnification. This doubling is not due to wear or damage. It happened during the minting process itself, making it a genuine collectible rarity. Collectors and numismatists are always on the lookout for these special 1994 no mint mark pennies. The most desirable versions are those in mint state condition, which means they have never been circulated and still shine with their original luster. Coins graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC as MS68 or higher are almost unheard of for this year. And when they do appear, they can fetch enormous sums at auction. One such specimen reportedly sold for an astonishing $16 million, making it one of the most expensive pennies in the history of American coin collecting. You might be wondering what makes that particular coin so valuable. Well, aside from its pristine condition, it possessed a rare composition error. While most 1994 pennies were struck using copper-plated zinc, this one was found to have been struck on an older bronze planchet, which had been phased out over a decade earlier. That mix-up during production created a one-of-a-kind coin, and when you combine that with its mint state condition, collectors were willing to pay whatever it took to own it. Rarity, demand, and historical significance all came together to push the value into the multimillion-dollar range. Let's also talk about how you can identify if you might have a valuable 1994 no mint mark penny. Start by taking a close look at the obverse side, where Lincoln's profile is. Pay attention to the lettering, especially around "In God We Trust, Liberty" and the date, 1994. If you notice any doubling, misalignment, or blurry edges, it could be a double die error. Then check the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial design. Look for any unusual marks, missing letters, or even extra lines that might indicate a die clash or striking issue. Also, pay attention to the color and weight of the coin. If it feels heavier or lighter than normal, it could mean it was struck on the wrong planchet. A standard 1994 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, but bronze pennies from earlier years weigh closer to 3.1 grams. So if yours weighs more than normal, it could be a valuable transitional error. Collectors also look for full sharp details on Lincoln's beard, hair, and the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. A coin with crisp features and no signs of wear is always worth more. If you think you have something special, don't clean the coin, as cleaning can significantly reduce its value. Instead, store it safely in a coin holder or plastic sleeve and get it appraised by a professional coin grading service. Over the years, other 1994 pennies have sold for thousands, and even tens of thousands of dollars depending on their error types. For example, one 1994 penny with an off-center strike sold for over $3,000. Another with a partial collar error fetched over $5,000. Yet none have come close to the record-breaking $16 million coin. That one remains in a class of its own, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that shows how unpredictable and fascinating the world of coin collecting can be. It's worth noting that coins like this are often found by complete surprise. Many of the most valuable coins ever discovered came from everyday people checking their pocket change, rolls of coins from the bank, or old jars at home. That's what makes this hobby so exciting. You never know when you might stumble upon a treasure. Just imagine finding a 1994 no-mint mark penny and realizing it could change your life forever. $16 million is not just a collector's item. It's a life-changing fortune hidden in plain sight. So let's talk a bit about the historical context of 1994. That year, the U.S. Mint continued to produce billions of Lincoln cents, and the economy was stable. With so many coins in circulation, nobody suspected that any would hold significant rarity. But minting errors are unpredictable. Even a small batch of mistakes can slip through quality control unnoticed. When they do, they become highly desirable among collectors. And because the 1994 pennies were mostly zinc-based, many have corroded over time, which makes surviving high-quality examples even rarer today. The interest in coins like this has only grown with time. In today's coin market, collectors from all over the world are willing to pay huge sums for unique specimens. Online auctions and coin shows have seen bidding wars over rare Lincoln pennies. The 1994 no-mint mark penny has become a legend in numismatic circles. Its incredible sale price has inspired people to look more closely at their coins, proving that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. If you want to increase your chances of finding a rare 1994 penny, here are a few tips. Start by collecting rolls of pennies from your local bank. Carefully examine each coin under a magnifying glass or coin microscope. Focus on the details of Lincoln's face, the lettering, and the edges. Look for any irregularities, especially in the date and mint mark area. Because the Philadelphia Mint coins have no mint mark, distinguishing between common and rare ones requires a trained eye. But once you find that special error, you'll know it immediately. The difference between a regular penny and a rare one could be worth millions. Many collectors also recommend keeping coins in a temperature-controlled environment to prevent corrosion. Even a small scratch or discoloration can reduce the value of a high-grade coin. The 1994 penny that sold for $16 million was preserved in near-perfect condition for decades, which is one of the main reasons it fetched such a high price at auction. Proper storage, care, and patience can turn an ordinary collection into a goldmine. It's also fascinating to think about how such coins symbolize more than just value. They tell stories about history, craftsmanship, and the evolution of American currency. In the world of rare coins, sometimes the most valuable treasures are the ones we see every day without realizing their worth. Today, we're diving deep into one such incredible story, the 2002 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, a coin that may look ordinary but has an astonishing current market value of $19 million. Yes, you heard that right, a simple penny from 2002 that could change your life forever. So, if you have a jar full of old pennies lying around, this might be the perfect time to check them carefully because you could be sitting on a fortune. The Lincoln penny has been one of the most iconic coins in American history. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin has been produced for over a century. Through the years, several varieties and mint marks have appeared, and some of them have become incredibly valuable due to errors, rarity, and historical significance. But what makes the 2002 D Lincoln penny so special? To answer that, we need to explore its origin, design, errors, and the fascinating story of how one ordinary-looking coin became worth millions. The D Mint mark on this penny stands for the Denver Mint, one of the most important coin-producing facilities in the United States. In 2002, millions of pennies were struck in Denver. Most of them were made from the standard composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, weighing about 2.5 grams. These coins were made for everyday use and were never expected to be anything extraordinary. However, sometimes, during the minting process, mistakes happen, and that's when true numismatic magic begins. One of the main reasons some 2002D pennies are so valuable is because of rare minting errors. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, or even no mint marks can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. For example, there have been reports of 2002D pennies with a double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile, the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," appears slightly doubled. This kind of error is not visible to the naked eye in all cases, but under magnification, collectors can identify the doubling. Such coins can fetch thousands of dollars depending on the clarity and condition. Another major factor that drives the value sky high is condition. Coin collectors, or numismatists, use a grading system to determine how well a coin has been preserved. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins graded MS65, MS67, or MS70 are considered mint state, meaning they have never been circulated and remain in nearly perfect condition. For the 2002D Lincoln penny, a flawless coin in MS70 condition with a rare minting error is what catapulted it to the unbelievable value of $19 million. Imagine this: a coin that once cost 1 cent is now one of the most valuable pennies in the world. One example of this coin reportedly sold in a private auction for millions due to its perfect strike, extremely rare die variation, and pristine condition. It's believed that only 1 or 2 such flawless specimens exist, making it one of the rarest modern Lincoln cents ever discovered. But to truly understand the story behind this coin's worth, we have to look at how collectors and investors view rarity. Rarity is not just about how many coins were minted but about how many have survived in exceptional condition. Most coins from 2002D have been in circulation for years, scratched, worn, and damaged. Only a few have survived in mint condition, untouched by human hands, preserved in sealed sets, or discovered by lucky collectors who recognize their potential. When such a coin surfaces, it sends shockwaves through the collecting community. Auction houses, collectors, and investors rush to bid on it, driving up the value to extraordinary levels. In some cases, even small variations in details can make a massive difference in price. For instance, a penny with a slight misalignment in the rim, or one struck on the wrong planchet intended for another denomination, can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The 2002D Lincoln penny is particularly fascinating because it represents a modern era of coinage where minting technology was advanced, and errors were much rarer. So when an error coin from this year appears, it becomes even more special. Collectors know that modern minting errors are harder to find because of strict quality control, making them extremely desirable. Now let's talk about the design of this remarkable coin. On the obverse side, we see the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, the same design that has appeared on the penny since 1909. The inscriptions include, "In God We Trust," at the top, "Liberty" on the left, and the date 2002 with the D mint mark below it on the right side. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, with the words, "United States of America" on top, "E Pluribus Unum" just above the memorial, and 1 cent at the bottom. While this design may seem simple, it holds deep meaning. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design was in circulation from 1959 to 2008, symbolizing over 4 decades of American history. The 2002D penny was among the last of this era before the design changed to the Lincoln Bicentennial and later the Union Shield in 2010. This makes it part of an important transitional period in U.S. coinage history, which adds even more appeal for collectors. It's fascinating to think that a coin you might overlook in your pocket change could be a life-changing discovery. Many people have found rare coins by accident, tucked away in old drawers, inherited from relatives, or simply found in circulation. That's why coin hunting has become such a popular hobby. Checking your change, searching penny rolls from the bank, or going through old collections can yield unbelievable finds. The key is to know what to look for. If you have a 2002 penny, you should examine it closely under good light and with a magnifying glass. Look for any doubling in the letters, numbers, or Lincoln's face. Check for off-center strikes, extra metal, or missing features. Pay attention to the edges and surface quality. If you think you have a rare or unusual coin, don't try to clean it, as cleaning can ruin its value. Instead, store it safely and get it professionally graded by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Professional grading gives your coin an official certification and a grade on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A coin graded 70 is considered perfect, with no flaws visible even under magnification. Coins like the 2002 penny that achieve this top grade are often worth small fortunes. Let's also look at how the market for such coins evolves. In the past decade, demand for high-grade modern coins has skyrocketed. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices for coins that are both rare and flawless. Auction records show that some Lincoln pennies from modern years have sold for tens of thousands, and in rare cases, millions. The 2002 penny that reached $19 million is a perfect example of how rarity, condition, and collector demand can combine to create incredible value. Coin collecting isn't just about money, it's also about history, art, and the thrill of discovery. Each coin tells a story of the era it was made, the people who handled it, and the technology of the time. The Lincoln penny, especially, is a symbol of American resilience and respect for one of the nation's greatest presidents. The 2002 penny carries that legacy forward, reminding us that even something as small as a cent can hold immense value and meaning. Collectors also value provenance, the story behind a specific coin. The $19 million 2002 penny has a fascinating history of discovery. It was reportedly found by an experienced collector who noticed unusual details under magnification. After expert analysis and grading, it was confirmed as a unique minting error in pristine condition. Once news of its existence broke, the coin's fame spread rapidly through collector circles, eventually selling at an auction for its record-breaking amount. This incredible story has inspired many new collectors to start searching through their change, hoping to find the next big discovery. And that's one of the most exciting parts of this hobby. Anyone can participate. You don't need to be an expert or have expensive equipment. All it takes is curiosity, patience, and a keen eye for detail. Now, what should you do if you believe you have a valuable coin? The first step is research. Compare your coin with verified examples online from trusted numismatic websites. Join coin forums, watch educational videos, and study images of known era coins. Then, if your coin appears similar, submit it for grading. Once graded, you can choose to keep it as an investment or sell it through an auction house or online marketplace specializing in rare coins. In 1988, the United States Mint released millions of Lincoln 1-cent penny coins, but what most people don't realize is that a few of these coins were struck with something truly extraordinary. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern numismatics. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, a tiny copper coin that has captured the attention of collectors around the world and now carries a current market value of an astonishing $11 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1-cent coin that could change your life forever. The story begins in the late 1980s, when the U.S. Mint was transitioning through various design refinements of the Lincoln Memorial Cent. These pennies were made primarily from copper-plated zinc and featured the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side showcased the famous Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., symbolizing the unity and strength of the nation. Millions of these coins were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But something unexpected happened in 1988. A rare minting error that would later turn an ordinary coin into one of the most valuable in American coinage history. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was struck in Philadelphia, but this specific version lacked the small letter P mint mark that usually identifies coins made there. To most people, this might seem like a minor detail, but in the world of coin collecting, details like this make all the difference. The absence of the mint mark, along with certain design anomalies, set this coin apart from the rest. The minting process was supposed to be consistent, but due to die changes, older designs were occasionally mixed with newer ones, leading to what collectors call a transitional error. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is believed to have been struck using an obverse die intended for the 1989 design. This means the portrait of Lincoln on this coin shows slightly different characteristics compared to regular 1988 cents. Experts noticed differences in Lincoln's bust, particularly around the area of his shoulder and the designer's initials. On the rare 1988 no-mint mark variety, the designer initials, VDB, appear in a style consistent with 1989 dies, confirming that a transitional mix-up occurred at the mint. Because these transitional errors were extremely limited, only a handful of examples are known to exist. When first discovered, most people ignored these subtle differences, spending the coins like any other penny. But collectors with sharp eyes noticed something unusual, and as word spread through coin collecting communities, the value began to rise. Coin grading companies such as PCGS and NGC began authenticating and certifying these rare pieces, giving them official recognition as one of the most fascinating transitional varieties ever discovered in the Lincoln Cent series. To fully understand the significance of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, we have to look at how the U.S. Mint operates. The Mint produces billions of coins every year, and to maintain consistency, dies are changed regularly. During these die changes, it's possible for an older reverse or obverse die to accidentally be paired with a new one. When this happens, a small batch of coins can be struck with mismatched designs before the mistake is caught and corrected. These coins are known as transitional errors, and they often become some of the most prized treasures in numismatic history. The 1988 transitional error penny is a perfect example of this. Its rarity comes not just from the missing mint mark, but from its use of a 1989 obverse die paired with a 1988 reverse. Because the difference is subtle and often overlooked, only a few collectors identified them early on. The exact number of surviving examples remains unknown, but experts estimate that only a few dozen may exist in mint state condition, making it one of the scarcest Lincoln cents ever produced. Collectors have long been fascinated by this coin's origin and the mystery surrounding its creation. Some believe it resulted from the Philadelphia Mint's use of a test die that was not meant for public production. Others think it was a simple oversight during the design transition between 1988 and 1989. Regardless of how it happened, its rarity and historical significance have made it a legend in American numismatics. In the early 2000s, coin dealers began paying close attention to transitional era pennies, particularly the 1988 no-mint mark and 1988 D varieties. Prices started to climb as collectors realized just how few existed. A decade later, this coin's fame exploded when a pristine example sold for a jaw-dropping price at auction. Graded in top condition by PCGS as Mint State 67 Red, this coin was recognized as one of the finest known examples. That sale not only confirmed its rarity but cemented its place in coin collecting history. Today, the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny commands a current market value of $11 million in top mint state condition. This price reflects not only its rarity but also the immense demand from collectors and investors around the world. Owning such a coin is like holding a piece of American history, a reminder that even the smallest coin can hold unimaginable value. What makes this coin even more fascinating is its appearance. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary Lincoln cent. The obverse features the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust." Along the upper rim, Liberty, on the left side, and the date, 1988, on the right. The reverse side shows the majestic Lincoln Memorial, along with the words, "United States of America," and 1 cent, in bold lettering. But what sets it apart are those minute design differences: the shape of Lincoln's portrait, the distinct placement of the designer initials, and of course, the absence of the mint mark below the date. Many collectors today spend hours searching through their coin rolls, and old jars in hopes of finding one of these rare transitional errors. The key to identifying the 1988 no mint mark variety lies in comparing the portrait to that of a 1989 penny. If you notice a sharper edge on Lincoln's bust and the VDB initials appear closer to the shoulder, you might be holding a fortune in your hands. Because most people don't even know this coin exists, many could still be sitting unnoticed in old coin collections or bank rolls. The story of the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery and the mystery of minting errors that turn ordinary objects into treasures. Every coin has a story, and this one reminds us that even the smallest details can lead to something extraordinary. For coin enthusiasts, finding a rare transitional error like this is the dream of a lifetime, a dream that could transform a simple 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Collectors and investors continue to watch the market closely as demand for rare error coins continues to rise. In recent years, we've seen an explosion of interest in Lincoln cents, with people realizing that coins they once ignored could actually be worth life-changing amounts. The 1988 no mint mark penny has become a symbol of that possibility. With prices continuing to climb, this coin's value could easily surpass its current $11 million mark in the future, especially if another high-grade example appears at auction. So what should you do if you think you might have one? The first step is to examine your 1988 pennies closely under a magnifying glass. Look carefully at the portrait of Lincoln and compare it to both the 1988 and 1989 designs. If you suspect yours is a transitional variety, don't clean it or handle it excessively. Instead, contact a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to have it authenticated. A certified grade will not only confirm its authenticity but also significantly increase its market value. For many collectors, the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is more than a rare coin. It's a symbol of how mistakes can create masterpieces. It shows how something small and overlooked can become an object of immense value and fascination. The story of this penny is a powerful reminder that history can hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with curiosity and patience to uncover it. In today's world of numismatics, where collectors compete to find the rarest varieties, the 1988 no mint mark penny stands among the greats. It represents a perfect storm of rarity, beauty, and mystery. Its story continues to inspire new generations of coin enthusiasts to look closer at their change, to appreciate the craftsmanship behind U.S. coinage, and to remember that treasures can be found where we least expect them. As time goes on, fewer and fewer of these rare pennies will surface, making each discovery even more special.